They're feisty, fun, and forever proud to call Cleveland home. You're watching Cribs in the CLE. Josh and Maria live.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Cribs in the CLE. I'm Josh Cribbs.
And I'm Maria Cribbs, and welcome to It's Hump Day, baby.
Hump Day.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
I'm feeling good too. Viewers, I hope you are at home or wherever you're listening to us at. I hope you are doing well.
Yes.
And I hope you are intentional about making sure you have a great day today.
I think I rubbed off on you a little bit. The intentional. Because I said that yesterday. If
okay,
y'all was
but
listening
I've been
yesterday, I
intentional
said
about things for years. I meditated. Well, I practice intention. Now that's your thing. Intention is your word. Let me just write that down. What's today's date?
Yeah.
April.
Write that down because it was from yesterday's show. So let's.
Intention is Josh's thing. Okay,
Yeah,
I got it. Note to myself. Now let's get to your stories, baby. Let's go.
Okay. So listen, guys. Today may be a day, and we're talking Browns free agency.
Ooh.
And yes, I'm going back into sports, and it's our team's off season. The draft is approaching. I wasn't too big. I was never too big on the draft because I wasn't drafted. I had to make it through the hard way. So free agency is kind of my thing. So we have an opportunity to gain Jadeveon Clowney.
Who that is?
Jadeveon Clowney. He was a first-round draft pick coming out. He was supposed to be signed. There was rumors that he was going to be signed already yesterday, but he had some flight issues. Today may be the day that we sign Jadeveon Clowney. And my thing, when I'm looking at our football team, when I'm looking at how our defense has progressed, to see Jadeveon Clowney opposite of Myles Garrett is a good sight to see. Now, somebody rendered him in our Browns uniform. Again,
they put him in that?
Yes. But to see these two apart now, they have a supporting cast now. To see the monster that our organization is putting together, his ability, now it hasn't, he hasn't had the season that he's wanted so far, designated to a first-round draft pick. But to see him come here and to be able to have the opportunity to shine alongside Myles Garrett. Now, this kid has a lot of talent. A lot of talent. And they're building a monster.
They all do, but I'm excited.
They're building a monster.
Now, let's get to my story. All right, Kid Cudi. Rapper Kid Cudi. He's a businessman, too. He, entertainer Kid Cudi.
Okay.
He was on Saturday Night Live over the weekend, and people are still buzzing about the fact that he wore a dress for one of his performances.
He didn't.
No, he did.
Oh, okay.
He did wear a dress. Those are the pictures right there.
Okay.
So you see a grown man in a floral print. I mean, the dress is like, I was like, okay, Easter dress, what's going on here?
Yes.
But people are, talking about, just, is it artistic? Are you trying to be, shock value? What is it and why? And so I thought about it, and I was just like, okay, I mean, he's an artist, and they do like to, express themselves in a way they feel necessary. But then also he says he was paying tribute to Kurt Cobain and Chris Farley as far as Suicide Prevention Week goes. And that's Kurt Cobain right there. He wore something similar to that. I think Kurt Cobain, he didn't look as...
womanly?
Yeah, it's and I understand artists, they like to do their thing.
Yeah.
And, so I just wanted to put that out there that people are still buzzing about that. I don't know if I'm really feeling men in dresses that don't identify with being, like transgender or,
Right.
So I wasn't feeling it, but if that's the way he wanted to honor someone, I don't understand why he couldn't say, hey, this set tonight is dedicated to Kurt Cobain and Chris Farley,
Yeah, everybody had to kind of speculate.
Yeah.
And then it came out. I understand
But
that.
you have to wear a dress because you would just say this is dedicated to them tonight.
Right.
You know?
You have to do that.
So let's get to your next story. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, all right. So let's move it right along.
Kevin James.
Yeah, so Kevin James is set to play Sean Payton in an upcoming movie entitled Home Team. Now, Sean Payton got in trouble. Now, the movie is going to be about Sean Payton's bounty gate, his scandal of him paying players to kind of put guys out of the game so that they can win. And this was done, but it's not going to be about mostly him being the head coach of the Saints. It's going to be about after he was suspended, he coached his son's 6th grade football team. So Adam Sandler is producing it, so it's going to be a comedy.
Oh, okay.
It's about him being the head coach of the Saints, now coaching his son's 6th grade football team.
That's going to be funny. I love Adam Sandler movies. When you say his name, I'm like, who is that? Oh, that's Paul Blart. No, that's Paul Blart.
Paul
Mall Cop. Yeah.
Mall Cop.
All right, so let me get to this last story now. You know how I am. I got a couple messages, people asking me, why didn't we discuss the Daunte Wright story? And once I hear something 3 times, I move on it. So we had a segment yesterday, and I didn't want to, mess up the vibe of the podcast popularized segment. And so now today I want to talk about Daunte Wright. If you don't know, I'm sure a lot of you have seen the videos and watching the news, seeing what's going on with him. That's him right there. He passed away. He was shot and killed. A 20-year-old shot and killed by Minnesota police officer Kim Porter. And the issue is Kim Porter has been on the police force for 25 years, and she claims that she thought she pulled out her taser, but instead she ended up shooting him. One shot ended his life. And my issue with this is, and I know people like, it's weird because I'm not used to people wanting to hear. Like, okay, I understand that you didn't get to it, but we want to hear your take on it. And so this is my take on it. You know, Josh and I, like we always say, our parents, our police officers, those pictures, if you could keep his pictures up, those are pictures of him with his one-year-old son. And I wanted to put those pictures up intentionally because when you start hearing people try to change the narrative, oh, he had warrants. You know, he had a warrant for, I think, a joint marijuana. $325. He was paying payments on it. He was set up to do some type of Zoom call or some type of remote arraignment or something like that, and he missed it. And what I've come across too is they sent the Zoom link allegedly to the wrong email address, so he never even got to show up to that Zoom link. So my thing is, he was initially pulled over. He's a handsome young man. Oh my goodness, he was initially pulled over for an air freshener hanging in his window. So when we discuss things like this, it's first of all, why are these type of goofy laws exist anyway? And I'm gonna tell you why they exist. They exist to harass people, especially black and brown people, because if I have a reason to pull you over, which air freshener or something like that is usually a secondary reason to pull someone over, now I have a reason to go and you know, and mess with you. So my issue is, you saying you did it on accident because you thought it was your taser, not your gun. When the police chief already said that you pull your gun out on your dominant side. You and I are both right-handed. I would automatically go to my right side.
You gotta go across.
Yes, and I've owned both. I've owned a firearm, and I've also owned a taser. They're totally different. They weigh different. They feel different. So I'm not buying that. But this is my issue. You have a killing of another unarmed black man pulled over for a non-violent offense. Whether he fled the scene or not, or whether he wasn't feeling uncomfortable, he has the right to fear for his life when it comes to police in this country and how they police black men. And my issue also is when you have people shooting up schools, shooting up malls, you know, shooting up churches, and going to the Capitol shooting up police officers, and then they're heavily armed and leaving untouched. And sometimes even being driven over to Burger King to get a meal on the way to jail. There's a problem with the policing of black people in this country that needs to be addressed. I believe the whole system needs to be thrown away, dismantled, and rebuilt. And I'm so sorry for the loss of his life. It could have been prevented, but things need to change.
Yes, and quickly before we move on, I have pity for people sometimes when they say, you know, he
shouldn't have resisted.
And not just that, but the fact that you have to look at it from the standpoint of the police officer. You should know better. You are professionally trained. Your mistake causes a life.
You ran his license, you have his address. I've had police officers pull me over and I say, oh, I'm in a rush, mail me the ticket. You know where he lives, you can go get him later. Pulling someone over for a air freshener dangling in their mirror should not have ended in the loss of his life. We have hot takes when we return. That's our take on it. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You're watching Cribs in the CLE.
Hot take number one. Is it inappropriate to have alcoholic drinks at a toddler's birthday party? Go to cribsinthecle.com/vote to give us your answers now, and we'll get to those results at the end of the show. I feel like we haven't had hot takes in forever. It's feel weird even telling them to go to the website.
You messing everybody up with that.
No, okay, so look, I know you know Ari Fletcher. I think she dates Moneybag Yo. It's like a rapper and an Instagram social.
I don't know, but go ahead.
Look, she put a post up because she had a party over the weekend for her child. I think he was like 2 or 3 years old. And people are shaming her because they had their red cups and their, you know, their cocktails during a toddler's party. Now, mind you, my take on it is, you're not feeding to the toddlers. There's adults there too. They want to be entertained. So I don't see anything wrong with adults having adult beverages at a child's party. No.
Okay, so look, a lot of times there are parties thrown for 1-year-olds that's really for the adults.
Yeah, they're not going to remember it anyway.
Yeah, you invite all your friends over. Yeah, we're going to celebrate Lil Johnson's birthday. Yeah, he won. He like, I just want to go take a nap. And all your friends come, and it's mainly for you guys. And maybe as the child gets older and you can have ponies or whatever, the parents are still over here doing them. So I disagree with saying that it shouldn't be, that it's inappropriate. Because they're adults. And adults do what adults do with adults. So I think it's very appropriate.
Hey, let me put Jimmy on that swing, and then he up here, you taking Jimmy to the moon on the swing, but as long as you keep it respectable, but I don't see
maybe have like somebody watching the children while y'all over here, the children all playing.
Yeah, exactly. Now let's get to hot take number 2. Let's do it. We only doing 2 today. Okay, look. Your significant other wants to get veneers to fix their gap, but you like it the way it is. What do you say? Now, I want to get to this story that day we did the Michael Strahan, which we weren't even here to tell you guys that was an April Fool's joke. Remember we did that? Do you know that?
Yes, I remember.
I'm like, we fooled. He had us fooled, and we done fooled our audience. And
you
now
didn't even tell me. It was April Fool's?
It was an April Fool's
So he never
joke.
got his gap filled?
Never got the gap
So
filled.
listen, I was against him actually fixing his gap.
We were.
Because I felt like that's how people recognize him. They could see his gap and, oh, that's Michael Strahan. Oh, and they get up on him. It could be somebody who got a gap like him. He's known for that. So for him to fix it, I did relate in the fact that if he wanted to change it, yeah, he could have changed it.
There's nothing wrong with it.
But I was against it, and it turned out to be, I'm just finding out.
Oh, I didn't tell you?
Nah, you didn't tell me.
I was salty when because I'm like, we done told this to our viewers. He messed around and is like, April Fools. I'm going to go and watch his show.
So we didn't
I'm going to have to go listen and stalk him to make sure that it's really April Fool's. I'm telling you, he put a post up saying it was April Fool's joke.
See, I miss him on his show.
Because we're always getting dressed.
What's that show they had? Good Morning 3.
It was Michael, Sarah, and Kiki.
Yeah, Michael, Sarah, and Kiki.
GMA 3. I
actually missed that show. I like to see them in their
how they interact. I loved it. But they say they got rid of the show, I guess, because of COVID. They couldn't have guests in, but they could have still done Zoom.
So
I really like that.
He didn't
tricked this guy. Okay, so I think if I like someone's teeth the way that they were, and they wanted to fix them, I'll probably say, hey, babe, I like you the way that you are, but I understand you got to do what you got to do to make you feel comfortable, all right?
You better say that.
Now, look, okay, I know. Coming up next, we're dedicating this month to the arts, and we've lined up some great performers.
Hear from a rapper that went to L.A. to make it big, but his heart will always be in Cleveland.
Don't go anywhere, you guys. We'll be right back. So we can all use a little positive energy, right?
Right.
All right, well, today's guest is all about motivating and uplifting Clevelanders, and he does it by using music.
Yes, today we're talking to Cleveland native and musician Toby Bratz about his unique way of encouraging people to prioritize their happiness.
What's up, Toby?
Up, baby?
What's up, y'all?
Welcome to the show. Look at y'all laid back.
Hey.
That's true Cleveland style right there. We always just laid back.
Right
That's
now.
true happiness.
True happiness, right.
Right, this is bliss right now. I'm at my mother's house today. I took the day. I got no work today, and I am
You
chilling.
just relaxing. Now, are you in Cleveland right now?
Right now, I'm in Chagrin Falls.
Okay.
Chilling in beautiful Chagrin Falls, Ohio, at my mother's house.
Yes, it is beautiful. Okay, well, look, tell us, how long have you been doing the music thing? We need to know about you. Come on.
I mean, I've been rapping for about 10 years.
Wow.
And I would say my career, quote unquote, started when I was a street musician on East 4th and Prospect. I did that for probably about 3 years, right when I got out of college. I went to Cleveland State. People would give me topics, and I would just like make up songs off the top of my head, and I did that for like 3 years. And then, I mean, I've been rapping like for years as well, but that was kind of like my introduction to performance.
Your music is focused on positivity.
Yeah.
Like, where did all that start from? And, you know, tell us about, you know, what you are doing now and how is it affecting others?
So I got my merch on? Yeah, I got my merch on.
Make people smile. I love that.
I got it under the, where's the tattoo?
Oh, he tatted up and everything. Oh my goodness. So you're fully invested. You're all the way
invested.
in. Yeah.
I'm in it, yeah. So I would say I got the tattoo Make People Smile when I was still in college. Me and my friends went on a trip down to Florida, just kind of living in a minivan and playing songs on the street. And I was like, well, what does this trip mean to me? And I tatted Make People Smile on my chest. And like, since then, I have just been deciding that uplifting people through words is just kind of my mission statement. I want to give people words for feelings that I don't know if we know how to express, and always through like a positive light, always trying to see the glass half full.
I love it. So look, Toby, I hear you were out in LA for a while. Did you take a leap of faith and move out to LA and try the music thing and see how it turned out for you?
I did. I definitely did.
That?
I lived in LA for a year before quarantine, so it was 2019. I moved out to LA just kind of to see what would happen if I was out there, just to be in a different place. And it was great. I met a couple of dudes there who were rappers. I met them at a local like poetry slam open mic, and we became good friends. We got a speaker and a wireless microphone, and we would go out to Hollywood and Highland, and we would just rap. We called ourselves the Traveling Cypher, and we would just spit verses in a circle. And then, I mean, it's a big tourist trap area, so like any person who wanted to use the microphone, we would let them get on the microphone, and we just like tried to create, like, bring hip hop back to its roots.
Yeah.
Like, just create that positive atmosphere. It's like, you've got something to express, I've got a microphone to let you do that. Everybody's welcome on my microphone, and just really try to foster community amongst like all these different people from all around the world. It was pretty incredible.
It's definitely important to be around like-minded people. You know, when you're creative, you got to hang around other creatives too. So I understand taking a leap of faith and going out to LA.
Exactly.
And you came back home because of quarantine. Would you go back out there?
I would go back to LA. Yeah, I enjoy LA. I do realize though, since being back to that, I don't know if I would. I mean, I was ready to move to LA and I enjoyed that, but I haven't really, you know, conquered Cleveland. I've never been on your guys' morning show before I left. Like, there's a lot more to do in Cleveland before I could say, like, oh, man, I've done it all in Cleveland.
And there's so much greatness here. And one thing I was saying, like, if you can't dominate your local market, what do you look like going out to New York and LA where it's oversaturated with people trying to make it, you know?
I think it's easy to jump the gun and be like, oh, I'm ready to go to LA. And I mean, I definitely wouldn't say that I just completely just drowned out in LA. I had a valuable.
It's a good experience.
It's great experiences, but definitely, I think there's a lot more work to be done on the home front.
Especially when you can become like an overnight sensation on YouTube, you know what I mean? Or social media. Toby, now tell our viewers, where can they find your music and what's coming up next for you?
You can find me on all platforms, Toby Bratz. Anywhere you stream music, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. And I have an album coming out April 16th. It's called Make Yourself Happy. It's basically 10 songs, all inspired from self-help books that I read a lot of during quarantine.
Make Yourself Happy, April 16th. Toby Bratz is on Cribs in the CLE. Cleveland's own. Look, we're going to be looking for you for big things coming up in your future. And thank you for the positivity and the great messages that you're spreading, all right?
Thank you so much, guys. This made my morning.
Yep, come back to the show anytime. We got more Cribs in the CLE when we return. Don't you guys go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You're watching Cribs in the CLE.
Welcome back to the show. Let's get to the megaphone poll results. Is it inappropriate to have alcoholic drinks at a toddler's birthday party? 33% said yes, 67% said no. Now look, in regards to that Kid Cudi story, what I meant to say was, when there's an attack clearly on black men in this country. That's just my perspective on it. And you can't afford to be prancing around in dresses just to play. Whether it's your artistic expression or not. I don't like it because it's something bigger at hand, and you want to do that, and it's not a good look. We need our men to be strong. We need them to be leaders. We don't need them playing around with that if that's not his thing. That's what I really meant to say. In regards to getting pulled over for air freshener dangling in your car, and it's ended, and it resulted in your life being taken away from you. You got to make it make sense. Doesn't make any sense. What you got to say?
I just wanted to say we got to be careful as people to have a victim to worry more about someone who is a trained professional make a mistake that ended somebody's life as opposed to the victim who lost their life.
It's consequences.
We should be worrying about the victim more than a trained professional.
And the victim trying to resign so
she
can protect her pension when you should be able to still go after someone when they make a mistake. Well, no, I'm sorry. The culprit. See, I wish we could talk more about it. You guys, look, we love y'all for watching. Thank you for listening to us. Like you said, we give our perspective for what goes on in this world, and I appreciate everybody reaching out to me, asking me like, hey, what's up? Why did you bring it up? You know, we had a package yesterday, and we want to talk about that, but thank y'all for...
Let's be more understanding.
Yes, be more understanding. I mean, like you said in the car earlier today, if I see anyone getting hurt, regardless of the race, it affects you. It's like, how did that happen to them?
Definitely.
So don't be talking about someone fleeing and resisting. They lost their life. They can't come back. And that's what we're talking about here today. Why? You got to make it make sense. Look, we love y'all so much for watching. Tomorrow, we will see you right here on Cribs in the CLE. Have a wonderful, intentionally wonderful day today.